Hey yo peeps, how are you? How's it going?
2013 Gateway to Higher Dimension. The 5th of July 2014. Lights automatically got switched on in Mum-Dad's room after Soma's death. Maybe it was his soul communicating that he was in a better place, whiter place, heaven. Always keep the lights on to avoid negative entities. 97A, Alma Road, North Perth. Homeless guy knocks on my door. Sitting on the couch across the hall with her friend saw a demon hanging onto the homeless person's shoulder. I suppose they come to me get moksha. What is doof? An underground forest gathering. Major DOOFs. Shantala's Bidet Bash at Hellwood South, Royce's Dungeon, Babylon Festival in Bushes of Victoria, Yarra Valley Scenes, Pinkgani in Lonavala, and Tosh, Party and After Party, and Great Ocean. Road Camping. Tosh, 2014, Party and After Party. First time Lucy Pop Firestarter. Next day heading for a walk with Soma. Some chillums. Later MDMA. First time trip with a dog. Soma's insecurities because of Ale. Foreigners asking for Lou. My paranoia of getting robed, so I accompanied her till outside Lou. Trip well and off to bed packing and ready to leave, but we extended for 2 more days and my luggage was lying outside the room. In Hemlock. Pinkgani. Ale's opening act. My first doof socialized. Popped hell of a night sitting, didn't move for 4 hours chilling to God-based music and listening to a Baba talking about spirituality. Awakening. Moksha, rested my body and shut off my mind, got freshen up, had lunch and bounced back to Bombay. Lonavala, Pana Dam, Sugar Cubes Rains, say no to sex with Ale. My hard drive saved Tolumba's set going for a walk in lush green environment, climbing a tree and sitting there in rain, a sad but beautiful departing doof. Royce's Dungeon. Every other week, but this is about the 11th of November 2016. Mushies for the first time slept for about 2 hours, woke up to light up a bonfire, sitting on floor for grounding and to chit chat for a bit. Didn't realize how time went by until dawn, tripping pond plants to witness the movement of how plant breath, painting an explosive mind, a Fibonacci spiral. Great Ocean Road camping scenes, a day before the new year of 2016. Forgot the stamp back home, leaving for the Great Ocean Road. Victoria setting the tent in someone else's spot. Did stamps left for adventure. I saw some evil entity in a small bush, stayed with me until long. Nature is opposite to humankind, still struggling to stay without lights myself. Divine entity entered from my crown chakra, looking for candle and not finding one, and calming yourself. Manifestation is quick, finding a pink candle jar, fighting with nature because didn't want to join with the grid back. Why? To which I spread my lotus that bloomed from navel. Altered consciousness, fight the energetic war between man and nature. Holographic vision, Lotus Temple, Trinity, Kamdev. I wanted to be the creator of love and also want to preach about the same. Holographic projection. After finding the candle, after calming down, presence felt of an entity entering from crown chakra, giving me company and fight against trinity of nature, and seeing a projection of Lotus Temple, meditation tent, named after you and Ale's past life, he being my son from another birth, Kamdev, something about struggling with the 7th something, chakra, life, stages of life, 7th birth. Stuck, keep holding on to it, let it go, looping, moving forward, 7th year, 7th sense, 7 years for what? You realized you were bigger than just yourself. Presence of a deity blooming lotus from navel. Chantala's bidet bash. Pride problem, mofo ego is an issue. Black circle meditating entity scared me off bloodstreams visuals running back towards Doofer's Airbnb rain sleeping on grass kit and Mitch looking through a telescope. Don't remember what bad vibes I gave, but it made my face ugly. Later, felt like I was eating off of Kit's energy vampire. While he asking me questions about Mahabharata, locked myself in a room to channel my energies into creating art. Babylon Festival. Day 1. Bus stop digesting Alay's insecurities. A Polaroid picture where he didn't smile, paranoid of getting our spinach caught. Reaching venue and setting up and decorating the tent. Seeing mind-blasting installations. Heading to a stage, me making my hat to keep away from flies. Sewing stems with thread. While Hoey was absorbed by with overactive sacral chakra, moving to another stage supposedly of drum and bass. Where Alay disappeared with my pouch and a friend that he made me running back to get my pouch to smoke one cigarette while as he was moving to another stage with new friends he had just made, was resting while smoking in middle so that it was easy for him to locate me. Gulping a half stamp later, W suspected on our ways he with his trends and me tripping at drum and bass stage. Saved an ADUD and saw him dying by dragging him on a rough rocky ground. Intention was to remove his shoe, me bouncing to another stage because of too much attention. Later sitting on ground with Holy and his mate listening to some techno stage while me rolling spinach, meeting with beautiful souls named Sarah and Nakama, heading back to the tent to end the day rolling one while he was away for his after party at Royce's tent. Day 2. Woke up early to meditate with brass sounds, doing Surya Namaskar, getting dressed, brown harem and pink crop top. To roll again, had breakfast and headed to Royce's tent to greet them. Beautiful hat, fly protector. Got stolen, bought another one, headed back to tent to get money for hat and relaxed at the drum and bass stage to see the live painting. Shantala giving me a hug from behind and asking for Alay looking for me, was going to the tent but I found him midway. Telepathy, mind connection, synchronicity. On our way to the Psytrance stage, a doofer did Sakshat Danfat Pranam to me and we left from there to be amongst a few doofers. Got wet by a water tanker in the heat, sitting to the right side of the stage, laying on the chairs in my mandala throw. I started to turn my new hat into a fly repellent, danced and socialized and was full of bliss. Day ended with a serene sleep. Day 3. Woke up and opened the tent out of claustrophobia. Alay's delusion of me bird watching made me take a shower and wore full clothes and 2 different earrings, heading out and meeting Sarah and Nakama on our way going to the Psytrance stage. Disheartened because of misunderstandings being separate throughout the daytime, I didn't sit with the crew and wondered with other doofers Alay taking me to have a juice and connected, sharing a filter with Sandra, from whom I picked up an all-time favorite dance move when it was loud, playing his track, Unique Drum. Me rushing to him after getting a flying kiss by Megapixel from the backstage, told him she was up next. Handshake with Megapixel's pretty friend drinking some magic water. I lost myself to get consumed by Megumi's sounds, dancing like a retard. I pushed people away and also fucked up with the sound system by absorbing all the sounds. Intuition to see the bird's eye view, but instead me asked them to see watch the world overwhelmingly beautiful from my eyes. Perspective. Set ended and I gave a hug and kiss to Megumi Abid, then climbed on Alay to transfer some energies. Skazy was next, rolled another spinach right in front of the console, asked Alay to lick it for slow burn to deal with his insecurities and to give him importance. Danced for a while, went back to rest to find that my mandala throw and chair were being used by our crew. Tired as hell, we bounced back to tent, met Megumi on the road and I calmed myself so that I don't hug and kiss her again. Walking back to tent, end of the day. Day 4. Got dressed and packed up the tent, went to Royce's tent to help him out where I couldn't locate anyone asking for James. I asked him to charge my phone in his car. Generous soul back in banana bus, sleeping and flashing my nipple and grossing out people back to distasteful normal life. Yarra Valley scenes. The 8th of December 2017. Woke up to Alay's fifth leaving for work, draining phone's battery, which couldn't get charged in spite of trying maybe. Wasn't supposed to go. Haley had left early with other mates. Me using payphone to connect with the peeps. Was headed with sleeping in car and waking up to mountains, reaching at the venue and exploring the place, painting wooden blocks with neon paint, speaking to Rush about moving into their place while interfered to get my attention. Also asked for my scarf, which unfortunately belonged to Jorge. Happily shouted out loud, "I'm going to fuck with my system," while heading towards the room. Some MDMA and stamps later, dancing and be grateful to have finally. Caught a break from mundane life. Let it begin, I said to Diru when Messiah was taking over. Right before midnight, mingling with the crew, I sat with Chantal. Ale sat on the floor and people assumed we were ending our relationship. Insecurely, he tripped on a wooden block and sprained his leg. He asked me for help to go to the room as he was freaking out that it is a fracture, but I was sure it was a minor sprain. Brought me to reality after making him sit inside the room. He said I could leave, but I didn't feel like leaving. Stood back and missed Anand's set in spite of Yashneel and his friend asked me to join with them. I denied and stood there in the open smoking a cigarette. Day 2. Intuition said nothing but 7 Saul. I lost something important is what I learned in that trip. Disheartened, continued to be a human. I felt insecure about Swatian. Snapped at her because her actions said that I wasn't the right partner for Ale, but apologized later. Went back to the floor to be with other doofers. Stood at a distance, spoke to Rosh about Ale's ankle sprain and she said he'll be alright. Danced and wandered around for a while, sat down near the wooden block sitting to calm my mind, but Hele came back, sat next to me and we looked at the bright moon. Nitish came and sat on my right side. I felt uncomfortable and got up to leave. Sometime laterites Ale were nowhere to be seen on the floor. Checked the room to find them sitting down. Ale slapped Nitish is what Ale said. I didn't like it but didn't say that. Back, tripped and rolled spinach. It started to rain. Doofers set up the console and speakers in the room. They played music in the room and I left with binoculars for my morning walk. I was sad and in tears because I had lost something really important because of someone I loved. Couldn't sit down or roll a spliff as everything was wet. Picked up some cigarette butts to clean up. Stayed outside and Nitish came to sit next to me and kept his hand on my shoulder. Felt like giving him a hug, but I wasn't comfortable, so I looked at the other side where he showed me clouds. I appreciated him diverting me. Supposedly, he wanted to have a fling with me. That's why he was blocking Ale's view from the glass window, like Rexy was blocking Ale's view while Nitish and his friends were snorting and asked me to do a line. Nitish touched my hair and made me frown. I licked a line and stepped out of the house. His good vibes cheered me up and I started dancing again. Smoked my first spliff with Reka and her friends. Everyone wanted me to talk. My dead silence was killing everyone's mood. Shot some Polaroids and I didn't click a picture with Nitish's friends as I thought if I come, I'll do that neatly and not hurt any feelings. Time passed by quickly. Ale and I went for a walk holding hand because of his sprain. Nitish yelled, "Sympathy." Ale started back bitching about Nitish and his friends. I snapped at him. We came back, slept. Nitish sleeping and snoring in adjacent bed periods while sleeping. Ale and became alright with each other. Pack up. Nitesh didn't hug me goodbye because of his disappointment. Left with Ale in Yashneel's friend's car. Had food and listened. Lights Will Guide You Home by Coldplay. I felt the presence of divine balance of masculinity and feminine within me, but disheartened because of the loss of I don't know what.